Hello. Happy New Year. Try that again without coughing. Happy New Year. Hi. Welcome. I'm on the wonk. Excuse me. Right. So yes, we are back. We are back with Doctor Who. And quick side note, whilst no one's actually here, this is my 366th day of recording some kind of video. Now I haven't recorded a separate vlog, this is like a live stream, but every day last year I did a vlog, episode by episode, and I know some people who decide like to watch these Doctor Who things have gone and watched some of those, and I'm a little disappointed that so far nobody's actually watched the actual final episode. So feel free, it's down there. Because I am proud of myself. It's a big achievement. But yeah, basically every day for a year and a day I have sat in front of the camera and spoke about some stuff. So I think that's a fair reason to be proud of myself. But anyway, let me take this off because I'm actually quite warm. Yes, I'm in my pajamas, but you know what? It's 8 o'clock. I've got nowhere to be, and I've got work tomorrow. So yeah, I've had about 11 days off. But that's not what we're here to talk about. If you are here, if this is your first time here, first of all, thank you. But also, I have a way of doing things. I will talk without any spoilers, for as long as I feel I can talk, spoiler free for. And then once we get to the point where, opinions have been said, no spoilers have been given, we have to get into a point where actually, I need to get more specific. We have the sign. We have the sign, which will be held by my glamorous assistant, Fawkes, here. How you doing, Fawkes? You good? You happy to see the people? You made any resolutions this year? Nah, you don't have to. Right, so yeah, Fawkes will hold the sign, and then we will be in the spoiler zone. And I may have to adjust the camera to... Oh, no, it should be right. So, excuse me, I have had a shower today. My hair is still a little bit wispy and not dried yet. But it's okay. We are doing the thing. We are still currently... Oh, no, hello. Happy New Year. Someone's here. I was just saying we are currently all on our own. But you're here. So thank you. And if you're new, spoiler free. And then we have the sign. So there you go. So yeah. What did I think? I liked it. I honestly liked it. Okay, that's probably a spoiler, so I'll leave that for a second. It was a nice little Earthbound adventure. We got to meet some new characters. Well, one that's been inferred, and then a couple of new characters with a couple of silly cameos sprinkled in between. There's a moment that I will talk about, which might count as a blam. But again, I'll get to that when we get to that. But yeah, it was good. I like the opening narration and the setup of the the ancient times and why how the plan worked originally, which is very cool, and then why the plan failed ultimately, which is good. It's set up well. So yeah, without getting too spoilery, I would say normally that the player of the week, the most valued player of any given episode is usually Bradley Walsh. But I have to give it to Tosin Cole this time, because although Bradley did also get some very good moments, we had a lot of stuff with Ryan. Hello, 2 people. Happy New Year. We have 3. Hello, I'm getting popular. So Ryan gets a lot of really good emotional stuff. So like a lot of these stories, especially these longer ones. That's your opinion, T-Con. It's not mine. But thanks for your input. Yeah. Also, we are currently in the spoiler-free zone, so if you can. Okay. I like Smith, but again, that's your opinion, and this is my show. So yeah. Like a lot of these longer sort of special episodes, they I've kind of split it into 2 storylines. Hey, fourth person, Happy New Year. And Ryan's is like the B story, and I guess it's not too spoiler to say that the reason he has the B story is because his dad turns up. So due to reasons, they end up at Graham's house, and that's quite funny, and we'll get more specific about that in a minute. Then the doorbell rings, and the doctor's like, "Is that your proximity alarm or mine?" And it's just a doorbell. So Graham answers, and he goes, "Well, thanks." And then Ryan's like, "What's that?" The door goes again. Ryan answers the door, and it's his dad. So he invites dad in. He's like, "Oh, this is everyone's gonna be dad. This is Yaz, and this is the doctor." And the doctor's like, "Ryan's dad. You weren't there for Grace's funeral. He waited for you." And I'm like, "Oh, I like it when she does that." She's the kind of friend that you want. Regardless of anything else you might think, she's the friend that you want. She will sort of stand up and say something on your behalf. And Ryan kind of got a little flush of like, yay, she's sticking up for me. And I don't know if you heard that, because I don't know if that would have come through, but that little bongo sound is my Twitter going. So yeah. Actually, let's see what it was. Anything good? No, nothing without interfering. Oh, hello, 6 people. Happy New Year. Nope, someone's just gone. Well, that may have been one of the new people, or it may have been one of the first people leaving. But either way, thank you for being here. So there's a lot of really good, heartfelt, emotional stuff with Ryan's dad. I will say, and this isn't to criticize the story because it was, like I said, it was very well performed. I will say that if we didn't have this B plot with Ryan and his dad, that maybe the A plot wouldn't be as filling, as long, or maybe they would be able to do different things with the A plot. But the way the A plot's kind of panned out, I don't know, maybe they could have written it slightly differently to it being, good or bad. But yeah, I enjoyed the B plot. And I'm not saying it is filler, but without the B plot, the episode would probably been a lot shorter, because the A plot makes sense that it's spread out in the sense of the timeline. Hello. Why did I watch this show's Doctor Who is dead? I don't know if I want to make a video on here, but Happy New Year. Thank you, Chris. You've made me mad at the start of 2019. Oh, hey, Cadbury. Well, I'm sorry you didn't enjoy it. We're still in the spoiler-free zone, by the way. So if you guys could keep your opinions vague, in case anyone else is watching this and watching the chat back, because like I said, we are still in the spoiler-free zone. And what the hell was that? It was something I enjoyed. And like I said, this is my channel, my opinions. You're welcome to your own, but mine count right now. Excuse me, I ate a cup of tea. So yeah, but anyway, Happy New Year. Thanks for being here. I do appreciate your company. Yeah, so have enjoyed hello, Pin. Sorry. Pin C Ushan. I just noticed he was in frame. There we go, pop him up a bit. So yeah, the B story was enjoyable, but possibly fillery. The A plot, again, I don't think I can really talk about the A plot without getting into specific spoilers. I will. The specific spoiler is something that everyone suspected pretty much from day one, like since the first trailer dropped. So yes, but honestly, despite what people in my comments are saying, I actually enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty well paced. The quiet moments were quiet when they needed to be. The guest cast was really good. Like the 3 major guest actors, and then a few cameos here and there. They were all very well done. I enjoyed them as characters. I liked Mitch and Lynn. I thought they had a very cute relationship going on there. I liked Aaron, Ryan's dad, despite him being a bit of a git. There are a couple of moments he has which I'm like, have you earned those? And I'll get more specific on those in a minute. But yeah, again, well shot. There was a couple of moments that seemed to reflexive of some of the stuff in the beginning of the series. Again, I'll get some more specific into. But yes, despite comments from the Peanut Gallery, I really enjoyed it. I didn't think it was a pile of shite, and I will probably be rewatching it again at some point. I haven't rewatched any of the series yet. I do have V Plus, which means I've got it all in my TiVo box. So I can sort of rewatch it anytime without worrying about getting the DVDs, which I probably will. I haven't bought any of the Capaldi era, and I think the main reason I haven't is partly because I don't have a huge amount of money, partly because they keep doing half seasons, like half season box sets. I'm like, what's that about? I like the whole season in one box. Thank you. Thank you, Pierce. Oh, yeah, Pierce. It was an incredible episode. Nothing was wrong with it. People just don't understand Doctor Who. Thank you. Hey, it's Len Meister. Hey Len. Hey Pierce. Thank you for a bit of positivity. Because I will say this, I kind of alluded to it a little bit before on my last review. Is there does seem to be a lot of this negativity on and not specifically at Doctor Who. There's a lot of fandoms that have this kind of stuff happening to it. And to give you a non-Doctor Who example, there is, I think it's a 2-hour video titled Why Steven Universe Sucks. And I'm like, but I like Steven Universe, and I'm not going to waste 2 hours of my time hearing why you don't like it. Maybe you've got some valid points. Maybe some of them are interesting, and maybe some will make me go, oh. But I'm not going to spend 2 hours of my time listening to you rant on something that I happen to enjoy. And yes, there have been a lot of clickbaity Doctor Who videos with headlines like that. Like, oh, there's a couple of people who, when I see their videos, because I clicked on a couple of them out of curiosity. That's how most people discover new people. That's probably how you found me. It's like, oh, this person's talking about, I like. That's a bit rude. A little bit rude, but yeah, fair enough. Big balls. We're still in the spoiler-free zone, by the way, so try and keep the comments somewhat minimal. But yes, that was a funny comment. But yeah, like I said, you click on someone because, oh, they're talking about something I'm interested in, and it's you know, I don't know these people. So you click on and think, you know, they're talking about a subject you're interested in, and the headline, you know, possibly clickbaity, but it kind of like, oh, okay, they're talking about this particular subject, about this particular point of view. I will check it out. And there have been a couple of people who I've clicked on because their headlines intrigued me. Ooh, 7 people. Happy New Year. Where I've not known who they were, I've not seen their work before, and they've started talking about this thing, and they start getting on their agenda, and I'm just like, okay, I'm done. Well, no, there's a couple of people I'm thinking about, both American. I'm not saying there's anything bad with Americans. I love Americans. I've got some American friends. I'm just saying it's like, yeah, your Americans are going, especially talking about the ratings. What do you know about the British rating system? Watch Mr. TARDIS. He's a British person who talks about the ratings in an objective way. He talks about the episodes proper and does reviews of them. That's fair enough. That's opinion. But then he talks about the ratings in general, and I like that. I like getting those sort of statistics and numbers. So yes, overall, I have been enjoying this series. I'm still not sure where I rate Jodie overall in my rankings of Doctors. Like I've said before, and if anyone's curious, if they've missed it before, my favourite Doctors are 5, 9, and 11. Tennant's all right, but he sometimes annoys me as a character. He's a lovely bloke, really nice guy. I wouldn't have a word against him, but as a Doctor, I found him aggravating at times. And I did enjoy Capaldi. But I still love Team Pond. Team Pond is my jam. And the other classic Doctors, I like 7. 1 and 2 I enjoy. I just haven't seen a whole bunch of their ones. 3's all right. I prefer Wurzel Gummidge. 4, it's kind of a rule that you've got to like 4, but yeah, he's all right. I enjoy his stuff. But yeah, so where would I put Jodie in that list? I'm still not sure yet. I'm still not sure. It took me a little while to warm up to Matt Smith, so we'll see. But she's definitely in the top half, I think. Yeah, so still in the spoiler-free zone. I liked it. I think the guest performances, again, were brilliant. The one, obviously, guest actor who is, you know, who's been in it before, has returned again, and he's obviously very good. Yeah, I honestly would recommend it. Check it out. Oh, one thing. Oh, would it stand on its own if you haven't seen the rest of Jodie's series? mostly for the A plot, but the B plot, there's baggage there. So maybe. I think if you've at least seen The Woman Who Fell to Earth, then it might stand up for you. Otherwise, I'd probably have to say, read a primer or something, find out who the characters are. Oh, I'm losing people. Is it because I said I like it? Are you leaving me because I said I like it? It's my show. It's my opinions. You're welcome to your own, but, you know, I don't truck with just being negative for the sake of being negative. But anyway, I liked it. People should check it out, make up their own minds. And like I said, guest actors, you know, cinematography, as always, some really nice stuff going on. Good show. And thank you, by the way, to the whoever thumbed me up. So anyway, we are now entering the spoiler zone. We are... So, Lane, if you're still there, you can now talk about your balls. Or not. Let me just get my glamorous assistant here. And make sure we are in frame and in focus. Well, in frame anyway, they're going to focus. Are we in? Yeah, there we go. Let me just... There we are. We are officially in the spoiler zone. If you're joining us new, I think I've got the same two people, but if you are new, we are in the spoiler zone. So yeah, it's a Dalek. Let's just get it out of the way. It's a Dalek, and how do I feel about it being a Dalek? Well, I saw the spoilers, people theorizing it could be, and I was like, huh. And then a couple of people were like, well, you know, every Doctor gets a Dalek story, so I think, yeah, fair enough. I am aware of the history of the Daleks in the revived series. For those who don't know or aren't aware or may have forgotten, excuse me, when... Oh, hello. Happy New Year if you're a new person, or welcome back if you were someone here as earlier. We are in the spoiler zone. If you recall back, they were taught that they weren't going to have Daleks because Terry Nation's estate were basically being arseholes. So then there was a whole campaign of, no, you can't have Doctor Who without Daleks. And someone leading the charge, no Daleks, no Doctor Who. So the Terry Nation estate, who, by the way, have never been able to capitalise on Daleks without the Doctor, decided, oh, okay, I guess you can have them. But you have to have them every single time. There has to be a Dalek in every single series. And that is why, for those of you who didn't remember, or maybe didn't or weren't aware of that, there is a Dalek episode or two with every single series, because the Terry Nation estate made it so. Oh, I've lost two people. Oh well, thank you, one person who's sticking around. And that's why we have Daleks all the time. So it doesn't surprise me. It's inevitable. The idea that they said, oh, we're not going to have any classic monsters. Yes, technically they were right. They didn't have any classic monsters in the series proper. But then they chucked a Dalek on the special. I was thinking about this whilst I was making my tea. I honestly think this is one of the best Dalek stories since Series 1's Dalek. To anyone wondering, no, I haven't listened to Jubilee yet. The Sixth Doctor is not one of my favourites, although I have heard he's better served on Big Finish. So I haven't heard Jubilee, so I can't compare to that. But yeah, something like the other episode that kind of stood out to me, and not necessarily in a good way. Oh, I'm talking to myself again now. Was Asylum of the Daleks, which at least it had some interesting. You got the the Dalek clone thingies. Excuse me, I need to. That's better. And a drink, because my throat's starting to go a bit croaky again. Hello, Dan. Hi, welcome. Well, that's up to you. Like I said, this is my show. And you're not there now anyway, so whatever. So yeah. Daleks, yeah, in terms of Dalek stories in the new series, I think this definitely is one of the better ones. I haven't really rewatched a lot of them since then. I know there's been as I said before, I still haven't rewatched the Capaldi series, so I can't really remember his Dalek episodes. But in terms of the fact you've got a singular Dalek being a singular threat to everything else is going on, that's kind of cool. How are you commenting when I'm not registering anyone watching? That's weird. The Daleks shoot missiles out. You know, that's not unprecedented. Plus, it's a different construction, so you know. So yeah, so let's work our way through the A story, and then we'll talk a bit more about the B story. So it starts at the beginning with narration in ancient England. I assume it's ancient England. I think that's what they said it was, where you know a desperate army, you know, enemy human armies come together to fight a common enemy that is this big creature thing, and they destroy it and cut it in three and take it to all the parts of the world. So one goes to the South Pacific and an island I can't pronounce properly. The other one goes to Siberia. Well, that makes sense. Again, I'm not showing anyone watching, and yet I'm getting comments. Should I be worried about that? Oh well. Anyway, thanks for interacting. Yeah. So they go to the corners of the known world, and then you know the idea that these custodians will watch over these, you know, these remnants, and their descendants will. I have a question about that, because we do see the descendants in modern times. If they are, and we do see them, the woman goes to Russia, the guy goes to South Pacific, and you see them sitting stoic over their charge, over their you know, buried Dalek remnants, and it's like, how do they have descendants if they're just sitting there all the time? All 60s toys that have gotten thrown around. You know what? Yes, but I want a model of it. I want a junkyard Dalek. I don't care. I think it's cool. I haven't got to that part yet. So the two custodians for the South Pacific and Russia managed to, you know, fulfill their charge. Unfortunately, the one for Yorkshire is shot by a random bandit who basically check their body, you know, realize, oh, there's nothing here, and just leave him. And then we smash cut to an archaeological dig, because it does the thing where it folds it, you know, you look at his body, you know, freshly dead, and then it goes, oh look, now we're in an archaeological dig, where we meet Mitch and Lynn, who are adorable. They're talking about, like, why did you come here today? Oh, she's like, I don't like New Year's Day. Nothing's open. You know, can't do anything. So I might as well just work. And they have a bit of flirty. He's like, so when you kissed me last night, was that like a mate's New Year kiss? She's like, no, not entirely. So there's a bit of flirty flirt going on. You're like, okay, one of them's going to have something bad happen to them. And they do. They're digging up the bones. Mitch is talking about, because she doesn't like Torchwood. Besides, do they still exist? Torchwood status is a bit wobbly at the moment. Also, we knew John Barrowman wasn't going to be in this episode. Oh, it's very good. Yeah, so they have a discussion. Mitch is talking about the Battle of Hope or something. You know, this ancient battle mythology that he kind of likes, and said, oh, maybe it's proof of that. That is a quote from Spearhead. What was the quote from Spearhead? Oh, Battle of Hope. Perhaps. I haven't watched Classic Who in a while. Yeah, so they're basically investigating the body at like an archaeological find. They're discussing what it could be, and she's gently teasing and saying, "Oh, that's just kids' stories. You don't want to think about that." Captain Jack. Yes, Captain Jack we like. The John Barrowman Captain Jack, not the other Captain Jack, who's become somewhat iffy because of his accent, but I don't know. So yeah, so they're talking about discussing ideas and theories, and they discover the bag thing that he was holding to with the Dalek remnants in it. So they bag and tag it. They do all the proper sciencey stuff, and they put it on the side under a UV light, and they're talking about, oh, okay, so that's everything. We're cataloguing everything. We're probably packing up for the day. You know, we'll make a note of all this. Meanwhile, it's under a UV light, and you can start to see it start undulating. And yeah, that triggers it. So we cut to Siberia and South Pacific, where their charges were still there. So many generations down, so somebody got laid. And yeah, they dig up their thing, and the remnants have disappeared. Obviously, at this point, we're not supposed to know it's a Dalek. So then we cut to, I may have got the order wrong, but then we go to the TARDIS, where she's showing them a cosmic firework display, and it's kind of awesome because they're watching this thing. Oh, watch this one! It's bang! And she's like, so they're watching this awesome display, and then they talk about, see, when have you ever seen fireworks like this? And they're each naming an instance they've been to recently where they're watching the fireworks, and she goes, "Oh, should we do one more? Make it even 20." You're like, oh, 20 fireworks displays in a row, all completely different types. Oh, the fourth person. Hello, Happy New Year. And so that's kind of cute. So she's doing that, and she goes, there's like an alert goes off, and she goes, oh, what's that? I said, oh, nothing important. It's just Earth. I like to keep an eye on it because, you know, you're home. And it keeps ringing. It's like, oh no, that is bad. Oh, we're gonna have to go. This is like a lot of stuff from the trailer. So yeah, she tracks it down. She goes to the dig site. Meanwhile, they something disturbs the table with all their finds on it, and they think, oh, it's a rat. Must be a rat because they're in the sewer. They're under the like Sheffield's council offices. Actually, one thing I will say, they are under the council offices that you become a sewer system, and you can imagine it built up. Nowhere in the construction of this building did anyone disturb the archaeological site. Now, I'm not saying that's completely impossible. I'm just saying this is a cavern built on a thing. It has pillars, and somehow it didn't disturb the body. I'm not saying it's impossible. I just find it convenient. Anyway, so yeah, they think a rat has stolen one of their bags, and then it's like, cheeky rat. Oh, that was quite funny. Yeah, so Lynn goes to poke the squiddly diddly. She has gloves on. She's not like, you know, being daft. And she comes. They track the signal. They land, you know, in the water. It's shallow water. It's just the sewer's gonna go passing through it. And Mitch actually sees them arrive, so he's like, these people have just appeared. And the doctor's like, hello, I'm the doctor. Are you? Double check, you know, checks him out, make sure he's okay. You found something, didn't you? Yeah. And basically they go into it. They find Lynn, and Lynn is like, no, there was a thing. It was like a squid thing, but it's gone now. I don't know where it's gone. And then they're all like, all right. They do some chat. They find out what's going on, what's occurring. Said, all right, we'll get rid of. Yeah, they shoo them out, Lynn and Mitch, and say, okay, well, we'll secure the site. Don't worry, we've got your details. He has to take all your info. Shoo them off the site, and they part ways. And I'm like, Mitch and Lynn, like, Lynn's definitely still kind of wiggly, and I'm just like, oh, give her a hug. You already know she likes you, you know, because she asked so you can have that drink now. Yeah, good job. If he had hugged her, then the story would have over quick, because as it turns out, the Dalek has hitched a ride. And yes, this is where we get our old new cameo, because Nicholas Briggs is again the voice of the Dalek. But this time, because it is just squid form for most of the episode, it talks through her voice, like through her mouth. So it's still Nick Briggs' voice, but it's like channeling through Lynn's body. So that's the majority of the A story now, is that Lynn is now a puppet, because there's a whole thing about, you are my puppet, and you're like, look left, look right, do this, now cover me up, now go to this thing. So she takes him, he makes her sit down on her computer and goes to the MDZ website, which we find out later is like a weapons company that has been buying up any and all extraterrestrial weaponry. Which, remember, this is the Doctor Who universe. You know, aliens exist, and aliens have visited Earth on several occasions. Hence the Torchwood reference we had earlier. And so she tries to fight him. She tries to resist him, and he's like, "No, no, no, no. We're doing this. We're doing this." So yeah, that's all going on. She eventually, he races her to this place, which I assume is the warehouse. That's the chase scene in the trailer. And yeah, makes her take over. Because at one point, because she goes up to 105, 105, she gets pulled over, and the Dalek's like, "No, that sound isn't your salvation. That's just war." And so she, through her encounters with the police, because she's like, he's like, "Can you roll your windows down, please? Are you aware you were doing 105? Like, you are an enemy of the Daleks." What? You are an enemy of the Daleks. Right, and how are we spelling that? So he yanked her into the car. So the Dalek Lynn yanks the male officer into the car, and then the female officer's like, "Oh, blimey!" And like, goes out and gets it. The next thing we know that she's abandoned her car, taken the WPC's clothing, and is now dressed as a police officer herself. As far as I know, they're not dead necessarily. They're just unconscious. But we never see them again. So yeah, she goes to the weapons place, meets the security guy who's in charge of the archive. Well, I am today. The safest digits in the UK. Well, that's what I tell my boyfriend. So he gets knocked out and his hand gets scanned. Gay agenda. Yes, gay people exist. Moving on. And they do all sorts of jobs. It's just strange. So yeah, she finds an old Dalek weapon that they acquired somewhere along the lines. The Daleks been visiting since the 60s. It's entirely possible. Yeah, so basically then ends up at a farm, which is where we get the junkyard Dalek from. Meanwhile, the Doctor's been tracking all this, has been trying to work out what's going on and why he's going on, and having some fun moments in that. There's a point where she works out that it's not just a Dalek, it's a scout. Dalek is like one of the first ones to leave Skaro. And so that's kind of interesting. So that's just like, so the bad thing that you think it is even a bad thing. Yeah. How are we going to stop it? Well, so she tries to call UNIT, and she gets a call through to UK security, like, "What? I need to speak to, Kate Lethbridge. This is a code 0 emergency." What? Sorry, what's that? UNIT! Unified Intelligence Task Force. Turns out UNIT's been defunded because when was the last time there was an alien invasion? Right now! Okay. So, that happened. The thing that I think is a bland moment is a scene later on where the Dalek takes over the communications center and turns off all the Wi-Fi, and it cuts this family. It's got like a buffering thing. It's like, "Oh, the internet's gone down, the Wi-Fi's gone down," and the mother's like, "There's no Netflix," and the kid's like, "What are we gonna do?" And she's like, "Have a conversation." I'm like, what? Which is kind of a funny scene. And I'm wondering, it's hard to tell because in one scene her hair's up and the other scene it's down. But I'm wondering if that's the same lady, if it's the secretary from earlier is the mother in this scene. I'm not sure. Maybe it is. Maybe it's just a funny scene they threw in. But yeah, we get Junkyard Dalek. And I kind of like it. So the boys earlier were complaining Len was making jokes about it, and one of the other guys was like, Draconian Dan was saying, "It shoots missiles out of its balls." Yes, and the reason I think that's okay is this isn't a regular bog standard Dalek. It is, she takes him to a farm, they kill the farmer, he's being a bit of an arse anyway, and they build a scrapyard Dalek. So who's to say that they didn't include some kind of missile ports? Who's to say that they didn't upgrade the technology? You don't know. We see them bringing several boxes from WDZ, sorry. You don't know what's in those boxes, and you don't know exactly what's on the farm. And this is a scene that I was referring to that reminds me of The Woman Who Fell to Earth, because we're doing the whole plastic curtains, building a thing, kind of 18 moment of Lynn, powered by the Dalek, building the thing. So we got the light, arc light, the hammering, and all that stuff. And this is why I think perhaps this makes a better finale episode than the Battle of Long Ass Planet, because it brings it all round and full circle. Sorry if you can hear noises, my partner's just waking up. So yeah, it's I like that. I like the mirroring of those scenes. I thought it was quite good. If I have any kind of problem with it, now Lynn is an archaeologist. She's a smart woman. We don't know if she's got a PhD, but she's a smart woman. That's taken as read. But she's not necessarily an engineer. Now the Dalek's smart, and they've he's learned everything he can about where he is. But she's still a relatively small woman. Probably some of her strength is probably been enhanced by the Dalek. But she's still making a Dalek casing. I'm not sure entirely how realistic that is between her physical strength and knowledge. They've probably got the equipment on the farm, like the blow torches and such like that. Maybe depends what the farming stuff is. I don't know. I like the idea. I'm just not sure entirely how plausible it is. 3 people, cool. So yeah, that was all right. And I'm serious. I think this thing looks really cool. The Doctor, because I was thinking, oh, is it going to be a steampunk Dalek? But it's not, as the Doctor described it. It's like scrapyard chic, or I'm like, oh, I like. I thought it was cool. I like the look. I think it's really fun. I would love a model of it. And yes, it does look like a beat up 60s toy, but maybe that's the point. Maybe it's a reference to the fact it was, they were originally invented in the 60s. And yes, it's rusty because the materials they were using were rusty. So I don't have a problem with the design of the new Dalek, because it makes sense in the context, because it's thrown together Dalek. So yeah, going back to the B story for a little bit. Basically, it's Ryan and his dad. At various points, the TARDIS bounces in and out of Graham's house, and obviously, there's a point where they go to a calf first of all. So Ryan and Aaron go to a calf, and he's like, "You weren't there. Why weren't you there?" Turns out he's an offshore rigger. An engineer, because he's trying to flog this combination of a microwave to the guy in the calf, and you think, oh, is he some kind of wheeler? And no, he's not. He actually is a smart guy. He is an engineer who works offshore. He's like, I'm trying to do something more on land, but I don't think this is my calling. This is a really good machine. I helped make it. I'm just making it sound like a con. Now, the moment I referred to earlier that I don't know it was inerrant is that he's being all like, well, I didn't know how to cope with it. I didn't know how to cope with, Grace's death. Grace is his mum. And I wasn't sure what to do and all this. And like, yeah, okay, you went through the loss as well. Maybe indirectly, not as directly as Ryan did, but you went through it as well. But we've only just met you. And I don't think you're necessarily a completely terrible person, but I don't know if you've necessarily earned this moment of forgiveness. I mean, it takes a while before Ryan fully forgives him, but I don't know if you've necessarily earned this moment of pity, because Ryan is like, what do you want me to say? And Ryan's like, I want you to say, you give this whole thing, like, I'm sorry I wasn't there for you. I'm sorry I made you feel like you weren't loved and all this stuff. And like, you never felt like that. Yeah, I did, because you weren't there for me when I needed you. Oh, there was a funny moment before that where Ryan says, see you, Gramps. And Aaron's like, Gramps? And Graham's like, yeah, see you, son. So that was cool. But yeah, so there's obviously a lot of interpersonal moments. Aaron and Graham get a moment where Graham's like, because this is when the Doctor sort of disappeared, because she's like, oh, I need this. I need some peanut butter to get the things going, because the Dalek interfered with her equipment. And she's like, I need this. So Graham goes to get it, and then the TARDIS leaves without him. And Aaron's like, did they just take that cabinet? So he's like, while we're alone, and he brings down all this stuff and like his boxes of things. And originally, you see, he opens it up and like his kids' drawings and bits and pieces and stuff like that. He's like, oh, this is Ryan's stuff. No, it's Aaron's stuff. And Graham basically gives him a speech about, oh, my dad died. When my mum died, Dad got rid of everything before I had a chance to, and he realizes now it's his way of coping. But Grace is kind of the opposite. It was like, I want to keep all this stuff. I want to keep all the stuff I'm proud of and let people know that I had a son that I am proud of. And that kind of gets to him as well. So it's like, yeah, there are nice moments, and he's very well performed. I don't know the actor's name, but it was very well performed. But it's like, have you earned these moments? So like with if it were Brian, Rory's dad. Yeah, we met him, and then he kind of got his more heartfelt moments later on. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, you've earned that. But I'm not dissing on the character. I mean, he's a bit of a git because he was, as the doctor points out, he has parenting failures. But otherwise, yeah, he's all right. He's okay. He's performed well. So the moment that I really enjoyed as well, the doctor manages to get hold, like, jacks the signal. So Lynn has been trying to fight against the Dalek. She's tiring because she's been out for a long time, as far as I can tell. And the doctor jacks the signal and starts talking to it, and brings a hologram into it. So he's like, this is my serious face. I brought you here so you can see my serious face. Right, now I'm doing this. And she does thing, and the whole TARDIS goes red, like, ooh, shit. It's on now. And she's like, she does something else to the signal, and she's, Lynn, it's okay, we're coming for you. Keep fighting, we're here for you, Mitch is like, well, we're here for you. Everyone gets a ride in the TARDIS by the end of this episode. So that's really kind of sweet. Like, you fight. So they manage to they catch up with Lynn in the farmhouse. She's collapsed at this point. The last you see is she's like physically throwing herself against the wall to squish the Dalek, and it doesn't quite work. But we see her again. She's on the floor. She's collapsed. There's a pock mark on her neck with some goo on it, and the doctor's like, oh, that just plugged it back in, and otherwise she could have died. So the Dalek saved her. I guess. So that's quite sweet. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry. And it's like, you've got nothing to be sorry about. And she's like, no, we got away. So this is where we get the big reveal of the actual Dalek and the moment. And God, this is such a great moment. This is like, I want to say it's definitely one of the best Doctor meets Dalek for the first time in their lifetime moments. But it's definitely up there. I think, as much as I think Victory of the Daleks is a bit of a silly episode, that moment Matt Smith has with the Dalek, or the Metrotron, or whatever they bloody called it. No, Metrotron was with Dalek, the Victory, but whatever Winston decided to call them. That was quite a good moment. Everyone gets a good moment, and Jodie definitely gets her moment. And she's like, and he's all like, oh, humanity's already enslaved. The Earth is annexed. The Earth is ours. The Dalek victory is supreme. And she's like, yeah, well, humans aren't like that. And like, oh, and who are you? Like, Scanley. And he's like, what are you? Does the double heart. Like, what are you? Tell me. So I'm the Doctor. And he starts going spasm. The sonic device deactivated and all this. It's such a really good moment. He flies off. I was wondering if he's going to be able to fly, but he does get rocket boosters in there somewhere. He confronts the military. Yeah, that's the scene again in the trailer. We see the modern military. That's actually quite cool. So, as I admit, it looked a bit goofy with the rockets coming out of the balls, but it's a sentence I got to say, so there's that. But yeah, totally destroys the army, as it could be expected. There was a great moment where a tank comes up because they have the ground troops like jumping off the vans, and they're like, whatever you are, drone, we're surrounded. And like, I can't remember what it says to them. He's like, did it speak? Is it you were warned? Oh, there's a moment previous to that where the it flies off and there's like 978 rails or something. I was thinking to myself, oh great, how long is that? What's... And then the doctor comes out the bar and goes, now then, what's a rel? How long's a rel? And I'm like, yeah, I can relate. I don't know how long a rel is. I can't remember. But yeah, he takes over that. There's a moment where a tank shoots its missile at him, and it shoots a missile back, and it glances. So his missile goes straight, and the other one flies off to wherever. That was quite cool. He then takes over the government communication HQ, like this big circle building. I don't know what it's actually supposed to be. There, it does do a lot of name card gags. So you've got, it posts up the name, like big screen. This place here, like the island in South Pacific, Siberia and Russia. Does the whole thing. And then when we get to the the communication center, it spells it out. Government communication headquarters, and it shrinks it down, so it just goes to GCHQ, which I thought was quite funny. So there's a guy in the office looking at things, checking computers, hearing noises upstairs, thinking, oh, okay, and like the Dalek blast, I mean, no harm, dead. So he was fun. That's where he tries to take over the internet, and they get the scene with the family, like, no internet, which is quite fun. Yeah, so it all comes together. So the A story and the B story do come together because they do manage to destroy the Dalek, and they do it with the microwave oven that just happened to be brought onto the TARDIS because they were carrying it at the time. And this is when we find out, no, Aaron actually is clever. He is smart because he pulls apart either, what is this made of? He goes, well, metal. It's just what he found on the farm, like remnants and scrap metal. And he goes, right, help me pull this apart. So he pulls apart the thing. I thought my dad would appreciate this because he is a domestic appliance engineer. He has, not anymore, but he has fixed microwaves for a living. So the technobabble they give later on, he'd probably appreciate and actually got. So that was fun. So yeah, they basically pull the microwave apart. She distracts him, like she tries to have another face off, and like, this is your final warning. I'm trying to be nice, but it's like, well, that convincing you? Like, yeah, it was great, it's great. Right, am I fast enough to do this? Well, we need to work on that. Okay, drops the shield because obviously she went out with the shield. She goes one way, they go another. Basically, they surround the Dalek, put the things on him. Hello, McTavish. First time I've seen the new Doctor, wasn't impressed. Dialogue story was basic, special effects were impressive. Have to watch another to really give it a chance. Yeah, that's fair. Welcome, McTavish. Happy New Year. Yeah, I would say that. I did say earlier, if you've just joined me, that I'm not sure I'd recommend this one fully as a first episode because of all the stuff with Ryan and his dad. But as a Dalek story, like I said, you take all the stuff with Ryan and his dad out, I think it would be a lot shorter episode. But as I said, the timeline of the A story needs filling up because, she is going all over the place. So, it makes sense that meanwhile, this is happening. Yeah, so big finale. They manage to blow up and go through the shell because, like I said, it's rusty metal. I still think it was an interesting design. Actually, I wouldn't mind both versions, like the full version and like a melted version. And of course, the Dalek starts laughing its creepy laugh, and like what? And of course, it takes over Aaron's body because why wouldn't it take over Aaron's body? Lynn's already been taken over. Mitch is a bit more wise to it now, so yeah, they takes over Aaron, which is obviously where we got a big dramatic moment. She's like, fine, I'll take you to where you want to go. Just leave my friend alone. Don't hurt my friends. And yeah, she said, we've landed. Oh, good. Cool. Right, now I'm going to take over the Dalek fleet and you'll all be exterminated. And door opens and no, it's a sun going supernova because of course there's no Dalek fleet. Because she did manage to stop the signal before it got out. So that's a plot point. Because I think they made the Dalek shoot out the server. That's going to cause problems. Oh well. Yeah, so the big finale is, she's opens the door but does a warp tunnel that is squid sized, and then he's like, you can't hold on, you're weak. And he said, yes. Gram's like, yeah, he said it is holding on. And he tries to take Aaron with him, and then Ryan jumps out and like, no, Dad, no, I forgive you, take my hand, take my hand. And I'm making it sound goofy, but was honestly a really good, heartfelt moment. So yeah, they get their big reconciliation. You get a scene of the squid flying into the sun, out into space, doors shut, everyone's safe and sound, and Ryan's like, not bad for a dyslexic kid. It's like, no, not bad at all. And yeah, that's our big finale. They take Lynn and Mitch back to their dig. They're like, oh, yeah, there you go. There's everything put back. Because I'm underselling Mitch. He was really, goodness. He had all the information. He told the doctor what he knew and what he thought he knew, and like, so I know these are just theories, but here's what my books say, and that's where they get the idea to burn it, because the original armies did. They kind of called it in like a Wicker Man type thing. And burnt it up. So that was yay, ancient armies. But yeah, I that's pretty much all I can say about it. Unless anyone else watching has anything they want to add, I'm probably going to wrap up now, because this is the longest one of these I've done, and my throat is definitely starting to hurt, and I'm getting hungry. There is a sausage and bacon tiger roll with my name on it. That's barbecue sauce, by the way. So yeah, I want to eat soon. So anyone got anything they want to say who's still hanging around? Oh, nope, someone's just left. Bye. Yeah. In that case, for those of you who have been watching live, thank you. Even if you didn't always stick around all the time, I still appreciate you turning up. For those of you who are watching it, later on, again, thank you, appreciate it. And if you haven't already, please do check out my video below, which is my final video of my 365-day vlog challenge, because I'm quite proud of myself for finishing it. And like I said, this is 366 days consistently where I've been in front of the camera talking about something. So I'm going to do nothing well, I'm going to go work tomorrow, but other than that, I'm doing no recording of any description, just chilling, and it'll be great. So yeah, again, thanks for those of you who have been watching. I appreciate it. You're awesome. I've got nothing else to say. Thanks for watching. I've been Michelle, you've been listening, and I will see you sometime. Bye!